What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Epic Variant Reviews on BlackTideTV. In today's video, the long-awaited UDM STALKER Sniper Pistol. Before we begin, I should bring up the image quality of today's video. Unfortunately, today's video was captured with PlayStation 4 Share. PS4 Share, by now you should know, is not exactly renowned for its HD image quality, but the UDM STALKER has proven very difficult to capture gameplay with. I'd been trying for days, and at one point when warming up before I had actually planned to capture the gameplay, my capture card being off of course, I hit the best gameplay that I had with the UDM STALKER to this day. And so no questions asked, I'd captured that gameplay or using it, or else I would spend another few days grinding and crying myself to sleep over this absolutely mediocre weapon. You see, the UDM STALKER isn't exactly preferable in core game modes. Its damage is too low. It's not exactly preferable in hardcore game modes. It's too slow and clunky. It's overkill in terms of damage at this point when compared to the base UDM. In fact, the UDM STALKER is best used in zombies, and I've made a full video on how powerful this weapon is in zombies. It's easily one of, if not the best weapon in the zombies game mode. You should check out that video. I've linked it in the description down below. The weapon has crazy aim assist, very high damage. It's very powerful. Check out that video for more information. But today's video is all about multiplayer and the UDM STALKER, of course. So the UDM STALKER is one of the most unique epic variants in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare to this day. I really shouldn't say to this day, because how many more variants do you suppose are going to be added to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare? But the UDM STALKER is almost an entirely different weapon from the standard UDM. These two weapons side by side, if they didn't look the same, you would never tell that the UDM STALKER is a variant of the standard UDM. They are that different, which is suitable for the overall theme of the UDM DLC weapon. The UDM, if you did not know, is a pistol built from modular pieces. There's a bunch of different attachments and pieces of weapons kind of crammed together in a custom build to make the UDM. So the variants, we should assume, are going to be crazy and different, which is really neat. I love how they made this sniper variant. It would have been nice to see other epic variants like a shotgun kind of mod, or I don't know, a rifle mod. Like, they could have done so much more with this weapon and its variants if they had added in other epic variants. But the UDM STALKER is what we have. It's the only very special variant of the UDM, and so that's what we're reviewing today. Before we continue, let's take a look at the epic variant infographic and the perks or traits of this weapon, whichever you wish to call them. With the epic perk sniper mod, modifies this weapon into a semi-auto sniper pistol. That's less of a perk and more of an expression of the weapon that we'll have to break down in further detail throughout this video. And the common trait, Readiness, reload faster when the magazine is low and stacks with Dexterity. We've seen this one on a number of variants, and really it's mostly pointless for the UDM STALKER. The UDM STALKER being a sniper pistol, you're probably going to be reloading outside of enemy engagements. It's not a weapon that you're popping in and out of gunfights with, traditionally, and so reloading, what do you need to reload more quickly for? You can take some cover, take your time, reload your weapon. You are losing a few rounds in the magazine with the UDM STALKER compared to the standard UDM. The standard UDM with 14 shots, the UDM STALKER with 10. But even then, it isn't a big deal because this weapon fires a little slower. It's a different playstyle altogether from the standard UDM. And so reloading faster is a non-issue with the UDM STALKER. You can take that common perk and throw it right in the garbage. I can't even tell you how many times I've said that sentence in the Epic Variant Review series. These common perks are not that great when it comes to epic variants. But back onto that epic perk, the Sniper mod. You may look at this weapon in your create a class, you'll look at this variant, and you'll see the in-game stats, and it's like Christmas lights. There's so many different green and red bars going everywhere, you might freak out and be like, I don't know about that one. It looks like a crazy weapon, But something you should know about the in-game stats in Call of Duty games is that they should always be taken with a grain of salt. They're more or less an overall look at the weapon and how certain attachments affect weapons. Traditionally, in Call of Duty games, the FMJ attachment has been shown to increase damage on weapons. That's just because it's not losing as much damage when firing through walls. So when you see increased accuracy, increased damage, increased range on the UDM Stalker, that is very true, but are those numbers exactly perfect? No. When you're seeing decreased fire rate by 18 points, that's definitely false because the weapon fires almost as fast as the standard UDM. The UDM is a fully automatic, a very slow fully automatic machine pistol. This one is semi-automatic, so you have to pull the trigger every time you want a bullet to come out. But even at full bore, when you're firing that trigger as fast as you can go, as fast as the game will let you, because it will stop you from firing any faster when you hit a certain point, you're still firing just a tiny bit slower than the standard UDM. The standard UDM fires very slowly, and you can spam this one off pretty well. In terms of mobility, the in-game stats are telling you that you're losing a lot of mobility, but mobility in the in-game stats, I believe, directly translates to aim down sights time and not the classic definition of mobility, which is movement speed. You're not losing any movement speed here. You're still using the same UDM. It's just a variant, and so you're still going to be moving at the same pace. You will aim down sights a little slower because it's technically a sniper rifle now, and snipers aim down sights a little bit slower than anything else in the game, except maybe the Mauler Mammoth and maybe other LMGs. Not to mention the fact that the weapon has a big weird scope on it now, and standard sniper rules apply. It goes from being glossy to being clear when you aim down sights with the dual render, and it's more of a hassle than anything. I would almost always recommend that you use an ELO or a reflex sight over the sniper scope itself. But in terms of the most important statistics, the damage, the range, the accuracy, I find this weapon to be very accurate. Even when firing as fast as possible, a lot of your bullets will go in the same hole. It's mostly vertical recoil and you can control it very well. But if you're using the weapon properly, aiming for headshots, then it doesn't matter how fast you can fire it and how accurate those shots are, because you're only going to be shooting one shot. And I mention this headshot player capacity because that's basically what you're stuck with using the UDM Stalker. If you're playing in core game modes, you're aiming for heads because that's the only way you'll get a one-shot kill. The UDM Stalker is a sniper pistol, but it's on the low end in the sniper spectrum. We're talking Drakon, we're talking whatever the semi-automatic is in this game, where it's not a one-shot kill until you get head or neck. And even neck is questionable. Sometimes it gives you a one-shot kill, sometimes it doesn't. But in terms of 100% guaranteed one-shot, one-kill capacity in core game modes, you must hit a headshot or you'll be spamming this weapon at enemy bodies for the two-shot kill. The most I've ever seen this weapon get is a two-shot kill on a regular enemy, that is without reactive armor or anything crazy like that. But for the most part, you're getting a two-shot kill or a one-shot headshot, which is higher damage than the 3 to 4 shot kill standard UDM, but the standard UDM is much easier to use in almost every single situation. This weapon requires a lot of skill, a lot of setup. You need to be aware of your surroundings, you need to know when your enemies are coming, and you need to prepare, and you have to have absolute accuracy for hitting the head. When the UDM, the standard UDM, you can just spam that thing around corners, spam that thing at enemies when they show up, you can spam it everywhere. And don't even mention hardcore to me, because UDM, the base UDM, is a one-shot kill across the map in hardcore game modes. Like Dominion, the biggest map in the game, one-shot kill across the map with the base UDM. So why do you need to use the sniper second cousin that requires so much more skill, fires so much more slowly, or more difficultly because it's semi-automatic instead of fully automatic? It's just such a lackluster variant. It's just so plain, which is sad because it's so unique and so different and so fresh. It's It's awesome. I love it, but I hate using it because the standard UDM beats it almost every time. But let me know what you think of the UDM Stalker in the comment section down below. I would not recommend this one to you, not that you can go out and buy it anyways. It is Quartermaster exclusive. But that's it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all of that good stuff. Links in the description, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.